This day and age, where everyone and their grandmother is moving like a supervillain, we gotta stop watering down evil intentions with dumb grammar. I'll repeat it again. We gotta stop watering down evil intentions or evil behavior with dumb grammar. For example, let's see, let's say the most common example is, let's say, you know, you'll know someone and they're a straight up menace online. Let's say a menace online or just menace in person. They make shitty jokes, are usually just racist, homophobic, all the good stuff. Just a bargain bucket of problematic things, and we will chalk it up to them being, edgy. We'll chalk it up to them being edgy. We won't say, oh, this person makes racist jokes or this person makes homophobic jokes. We'll say, oh, this guy or gal, they make sort of, edgy jokes. I don't really talk to them. They're not a good person to be around. And, that's all fine and dandy. You're like, hey, I want to keep my distance from that person. But get the intention straight. Don't use dumb grammar to describe their behavior. Because what you're doing is you're essentially just watering down what they do. You're kind of softening the blow or softening, the effect. No, I wouldn't say effect. You're softening the behavior that they like to expose to the world, essentially. Or most likely these guys are kind of losers, people who make edgy jokes these days. So they probably do that shit behind closed doors. But essentially, you shouldn't say, hey, this guy or gal sort of edgy. Just be straight up. Say, hey, this person, they're just racist or they're homophobic or whatever you want to say, whatever they're doing at the time. Most times it'll be like the 3-in-1 bargain bucket of all hateful things. So I can understand why you just chalk it up to all that accumulation of, edginess, homophobia, transphobia, whatever you want to say, the ableism, all that. Hey, the list is growing each day. But essentially, you like to chalk it all the way up to, hey, they're just being edgy. Because that's a accumulation of all things. But I feel like these days it really dampens the blow. And it's not only stuff to be doing, it's not only to do with things such as being mean or essentially just being mean or how would you describe it when you don't care about another group? You don't really care about the effects your words have on another group of people or a community of people. The word's at the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember it. Dismissive, I guess you could say, dismissive of another community's struggles or whatnot, and the effect that certain language has on them, using certain language. It's also moved on to things that are even more serious, where it's let's say something that's relevant today, Epstein, the man who that man's like a freaking spider web. Everywhere in the corner of the freaking globe, he's involved in somewhere. And, some people might describe his actions or what he did on the island. They'll say, oh man, he was, Epstein, that guy, he was moving crazy, or he was messing with little kids and stuff like that. I'm like, it's such a dampened version of the extent of what he actually did. Don't say he was messing or he was moving crazy. Because what is moving crazy? When I go outside or when I run for the bus and do some sick parkour to reach the bus before it passes me, that can be described as moving crazy. Moving crazy could be anything. And again, it's dampening down intentions with dumb grammar. Don't say he was moving crazy or he was messing with little kids. No, he was raping little kids. That's what he was doing. He was raping little kids. He was grooming little boys and girls. And a whole bunch of other shit. There's a bit of cannibalism in there as well. Again, and it's that thing. It's dumbing down words. Or when your favorite Minecraft YouTuber, they get exposed for trying to solicit nudes off little children, or doing much worse. Unfortunately, leave it to your slop tuber to be like, hey, this guy, hey, I love Minecraft XZ was exposed for messing with little children, and then you have the then you have the streamer who reacts to that video with their chat on the sidebar saying like, whoa, watch this video of Minecraft XZ getting exposed for messing with little kids. And then the boring ass streamer will sit there slumped over on their chair like this, taking the subs and be like, oh, for real, man, he was messing with kids. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, he was going crazy in those Discord chats, bro. Oh man, he was crazy in the Discord call. Can't believe it. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, I like Big Dick 123, and then you see like how it's gone it's gone from, hey, this Minecraft YouTuber was grooming minors in Discord to, oh man, he was acting a little crazy on Discord, and that's the extent of it. And that's what it gets put up to. Well, I know my shirt is backwards, but it's a pajama shirt. It doesn't matter. But regardless, and this can be seen throughout everything. It's like, for example, let's say you know someone, you have a distant, so they're not a friend, they're more so like an acquaintance, and you hear they've done like some weird shit. Like, let's say, see, exactly, I just did it myself. I've dimmed it down to this being weird shit. They've done some let's say said some racist shit. You know, they were playing games. They're out playing games with the boys on Xbox 360. Actually, no, everyone's been racist on Xbox 360. They were saying some racist shit on the Fortnite calls. You know, all that shit. I don't play games. That's the first thing that came to my head. And then they say some racist shit, and then you hear about this information, and then you're like, wow, this guy was moving kind of crazy last night in the Fortnite game. What? He was moving crazy? No, he was moving racist. Just say it. Like, don't dim down the actions of people. Dumb down the actions of people because you want to, speaking the truth or speaking in harsh terms hurts. And it's seen in a lot of things as well. Like, this goes beyond even just actions of like monstrous actions. Even when people dim down, I've heard, I've watched a couple of videos when it involves, someone, sexually assaulting someone, and they'll call it grape or some shit, and in order not to get demonetized on YouTube. And I can understand, you want to spread awareness about an issue, but you also want to, protect your coin at the same time. But again, it just dumbs down. It's kind of like that shit of dumbing down evil intentions with shitty grammar. That's essentially what it is. And the reason I'm making this video, the main thing was I was just watching the video on of course the best streamer of all time, the best kick streamer of all time, Aiden Ross. There was a video, some guy was making a video about him. What's his name? I forget the guy's name. And it was a good. He was just calling out, Aiden Ross's typical BS behavior. See, I'm doing it myself. Bullshit behavior. That's what it was. But the bullshit behavior in question was, typical racism, all that stuff, all that good stuff that Aiden likes, and and the main thing is, like, I don't really care about Aiden, nor do I care about his friends either. But I do care about the people who are black and choose to associate with Aiden Ross. And it was to do with his boxing events. And I think it was Your Rage, yeah. Your Rage, that guy, he pulled up to the boxing event apparently, then his fan base was getting on his ass for him. And then you had another person like, I think Black Boy Max, yeah, he was reacting to his shit. Where he was doing a stream with like some random racist guy who was going to be in the event. And then Max chalked it up to pretty much saying, yo, Aiden's he's been moving kind of crazy. I won't lie, Aiden, you're acting kind of crazy these days. Like, you started off with such humble beginnings, but now you've kind of become kind of crazy. I'm like, it's such a bullshit of of grammar. Essentially, like, you don't have to be the most sophisticated dude in the room using, eloquent language for every sentence you speak, but just be real with your intentions. Like, don't try and dumb down a word for the sake of, I don't know why they're doing it. Honestly, I couldn't tell you why they're dumbing it down. Are they dumbing it down for themselves or to spare, the intentions of their so-called acquaintances of dumbing down what they actually did? Like it really is strange. Like it's a strange phenomenon. Um, and I'm guilty of this too. Not with friends. I don't think well, yeah, maybe some ex-friends who've done some, let's say, nefarious acts. I'll put it like that. And even like it would be calling them nefarious acts even dumb it down. Could that be an example of dumbing it down? I really don't know. I wouldn't like to say, I wouldn't say it's dumbing it down because nefarious acts, like, I guess it's pretty straightforward. Some evil acts. They were doing some evil behavior. That's the best way to put it. There was nothing good about the behavior. It was just evil shit. But I can recall some instances of me dumbing down, someone's bad behavior and chalking it up to being, hey, they're moving kind of mad, they're moving crazy, hey, they're messing with this, they're messing with that. Hey, they went a little bit too far over the line. Instead of like just calling it out what it actually is, which is it could be either, let me whip out the list, racism, homophobia, and all of the above, all of that shit, etc. And so the main thing to get from this video is, next time you hear something that you consider, like, let's say where it's like ableism or racism, don't chalk it up and you hear it from someone, maybe it's a friend, an acquaintance, and you hear someone else talking about the situation or yourself, and they chalk it down to, hey, that person was just moving crazy, or they were like, they went a bit too over the line with this. Oh, or I love this one. Hey, they took the joke a bit too far. Like, but is it really a bit too far? Or did they take it like a kilometer over the line too far? Stuff like that. Be wary of it and call out other person out, or you should call yourself out if you catch yourself doing that. Because even though I'm making this video, I know like maybe a week down the line, maybe I'll hear some random crazy situation. I just did it now. I'll hear some situation where this type of behavior was carrying on, and I'll be like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy, or oh, what they did was kind of crazy. Instead of just calling it for what it is, whether that be, them saying slurs or them just disregarding a community, or them making like a shitty joke at the expense of another person's community or some shit like that. And I feel like you should, hey, if anyone watches this video, you should be able to do the same. Call it out, or be aware of it yourself. Because at the end of the day, all this wasp I'm talking about now, it starts with yourself. If you want to actually really change something, you gotta notice it in yourself first before you start calling out other people for it. I guess that's what I'm kind of doing here. I guess I'm calling out other people. I'm calling out myself at the same time. But yeah, that's essentially it. Don't dumb down evil intentions with dumb grammar. Essentially, like such as I said, crazy. Crazy has so many meanings. Crazy can mean a good thing. When I grab the pen and I start animating, I go crazy on the pen with my animations. I'm confident like that, so I go crazy. I go crazy with animations. Someone who's maybe very good at sports. When they hop on the football field, they go crazy. That's just it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Stop dumbing down. Stop dumbing down evil intentions with dumb words. Up your grammar. Up your grammar. Be aware of it.